Louisa May Alcott in a Library of America edition. So this is, everyone knows Little Women, or I don't know if everyone knows. Probably everyone out of high school in the United States has heard of the book Little Women. Oh, and they made TV shows about Little Women, and they made movies about Little Women. So a lot of people know Little Women. I have the Library of America edition. Since I was a member at the time, it comes with a slipcover to keep the book nice. I'm no longer a member. I would be, but I no longer live in a region that makes sense to ship it to me. So get rid of that. This is the book as it comes for most people if they buy it. And I really love Library of America. They put together good quality bindings, quality materials, and it's not that expensive. So, and they also, they're uniform in their length and width, and it's a good size. It just fits in my hand really nicely. This one seems, this is thicker than some. Although I suppose some are even thicker than this. But still, it just fits. And, like if I had a big old coat, this would fit in my big old coat pocket. And I can wander around with it. So let's have a look here. You can open it up without cracking the spine. It's cloth. It's this nice feeling cloth. This is true about all the Library of America books. Louisa May Alcott, Little Women, Little Men, and Jo's Boys. And I never read Jo's Boys. I read Little Women, I read Little Men, never read Jo's Boys. Okay, so that's what's going on here. And then they always have, oh look, see, there's even, that's all. Oh, they just split it up into two parts. It's been a while. I never actually read this edition, so I read Little Women, in a different version. I think I've got another version even in my library. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do, as a matter of fact. Yes, we have a Folio Society edition version of this. Anyway, I never actually read in this book at all, but when I wanted to have it in my library, this is the one I got. So they always come with a chronology and notes on the text, which sometimes I think are superfluous, but sometimes they're really helpful because, and in Little Women I think it would be helpful because they talk about events of the day. And, I don't know a lot of the events of the day or the politics from the 1800s, but then you can flip back to the notes and they sort of inform you what's going on there. So this is how the notes go. Now there's no indication that there's a note. So you're reading the book and there's nothing there that says, oh, go check the notes. So I usually keep the ribbon when I'm reading and then I have the ribbon back where the notes would be. And every once in a while I'll flip back there and check what the notes are. Oh, this is the chronology, not the notes. There's also always a chronology. Here's the notes. So you can see, for example, they called him a Jenkins. See, I don't know what a Jenkins is. Well, it's a discouraging term for a journalist. And that tells you when it was first used. That's exactly the kind of thing that a note is helpful. Even in a fiction. I know why notes are helpful in nonfiction, but even in fiction, especially if it's an older book. Okay, so the only complaint that anyone could have, I think, about Library of America books is that the paper is a bit thin. It's not, you're going to tear it if you're not careful thin. I mean, I guess any page is like that. But it's not like, oh gosh, you better be careful. It's just a bit thin. But there's a really good reason for that. And the reason is that, they just fit 3 full novels and a chronology and an index. Notes and a foreword or an introduction into this book, which comes to something like 1,100 pages. Well, there we go. Very close, basically 1,100 pages. Now I showed you that I can put this, I didn't prove I could put it in a winter coat, but I really can. And, to be able to carry around an 1,100 page book like this is down to those pages not being that thick. This is just so manageable. And you're carrying around 3 full novels. So I really love it. There's not a lot to show on the inside. There are some illustrations. Not a lot. There's one right there. Joe in a Vortex. And those are throughout. There aren't a million of them, but there are some of them. Just to get a detail. I don't think I have to discuss Little Women too much, or Louisa May Alcott, so I'm not going to. But in any case, what I consider to be a really nice Library of America edition of the writings of Louisa May Alcott.